Sorry, give me 1 second, guys. I'm just uploading this to YouTube.
Does everybody see my ES chart
Um,
here? Yes. Okay, cool. Just want to make sure. Sweet.
all right,
Sweet. Okay.
let me
Cool.
record it. Awesome. What is going on, everybody? We are back to another Sunday watch where we go over and get ready and prepared for the week. We have a short week ahead of us, Monday through Wednesday, and then Thursday the market is completely off, and then there's a short day on Friday where it ends at 1 p.m. Eastern, right? So for this week, so be trading Monday through Wednesday, and then go enjoy yourselves, enjoy your family. That's why we trade. So no trading on Friday, just Monday through Wednesday. Let's get it, let's kill it, let's get prepared. I'm Mr. Banks, your host, along with No Risk, No Premium. As always, we go over economic data for the week, Fed speakers for the week, any kind of big earnings for the week. We go over ES, all the indices, and then some individual names to get ready to make some money. So,
Absolutely. Good intro there, Jay. Guys, Justin made a good point. Guys, short week this week. Short week this week. I notoriously short weeks are notorious. I'm sorry. Short weeks are notorious for being bullish, and we are in an uptrend. Now, I'm not going to say you just on Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday you wake up and buy calls. I'm not saying that. But if market participation is lower during this week, it's typically more buy side heavy. We could see some sideways slash melting up, probably similar to Friday. We could see a breakout of some levels and big moves to the upside. Absolutely. We could sell off the hell. No idea what's going to happen this week, but just plan on trading Monday to Wednesday. Everybody's Friday should be on Wednesday. And like Justin said, go enjoy your day. First thing we like to do, guys, what do? We go look at the market watch. We look at the economic calendar for the week and see what is going on. Monday, Monday, we have no pre-market data 30 minutes in. That's the U.S. leading economic indicators. Absolutely want to be paying attention to that data. That typically serves for a good, spike, drop, pop, liquidity grab, whatever you want to call it. There is definitely a little bit of movement. Now, I'm not saying we completely trend change or some stupid, crazy reversal happens, but if you're holding anything 0 date or maybe 1 or 2 days to expire, that could trigger some stops. That could get some people stopped. So watch for that. Then we got a knucklehead that comes on at 12 p.m. So Monday, pretty light, except that data. 30 minutes in. On to Tuesday, big day Tuesday. So we got a short week with two big data prints. One's a big data print, one's an earnings. We'll get to that in a second. Tuesday, 2 p.m., we see the FOMC minutes. Right now, that's a minutes of it's pretty much the notes of the previous FOMC meeting. That's at 2 p.m. So we know how that goes. Pretty much it's pretty stagnant during the day, rangy up until that action, and then we get some volatility that comes in around 2 p.m. So we know how to play that. We'll kind of specify how we're going to play that on tomorrow's market overview video. But just know, right, 2 p.m. we're going to have that minutes and a ton of headline bombs that come out at that time. Then on to Wednesday, right? Wednesday, it's got the jobless claims, right? That's some pre-market data. Obviously, when market's going to pay attention to jobless claims. Last jobless claims, the last week we went up, right? We went up. So we're going to pay attention to the pre-market there. What happens, and then into consumer sentiment data. I'm pretty sure that's going to be like all the University of Michigan 1 in 5 year inflation expectation, consumer sentiment data, etc. on that 10 a.m. data. It's 30 minutes in. So Monday 10 a.m. right, Tuesday 2 p.m. Okay, and then Wednesday pre-market and 30 minutes in. Pay attention to those data prints. Now on to the earnings whispers. We thought we were done. Not quite. Nvidia, the 21st. Now that's Tuesday. That should be after market close, if I'm not mistaken. Almost very 99% positive that will be after market close. So guys, Tuesday's a big day. Got the FOMC minutes. We've got Nvidia, right? So that's the second data print, quote unquote, I mentioned earlier, being the Nvidia earnings. That'll be a big one. That will definitely move things, I believe. SPY and QQQs would be tradable off of that. AMD might be a fantastic sympathy play for the Nvidia. Now, Nvidia always has pretty juiced up premiums. They're fairly expensive. Obviously, going in, you don't want to be on the buy side, of the options naked, because you're going to have super crazy IV going into Tuesday afternoon, on top of IV going into the FOMC minutes. So we got double IV pump coming, to the indices and to NVIDIA. But I do think, and I'm sure Justin will probably have AMD on his watch sometime this week, and I'll be watching it as well. Great sympathy play is going to be AMD for NVIDIA. Now, obviously, Wednesday comes, you can always play look to play the IV crush, right? Look to play the IV crush after the NVIDIA earnings Tuesday. At the close, guys, that has to do for the economic data and the earnings. Just want to go over and just show everybody this NYSE. This is the holiday schedule pretty much, right? For 2023, we can see we're all the way down here at Thanksgiving. So Thursday, we are obviously off Thursday, right? The market will be closed completely, but you got to go down here and you got to look where it says each market will close early at 1 p.m., right? 1:15 p.m. for eligible options. Now that's Eastern Standard Time. Okay. On Friday, November 24th. So that's the half day we were talking about. Remember, Wednesday's everybody's Friday. And if you have a completely gambling problem and need to get in and get some itching done, then Friday, it's open for 3.5 hours. I wouldn't expect much from it. But just so you know, it says it right here, close at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please do not forget that. The worst thing you want to do is think it's a full Friday and you start buying options in the last 15 minutes and then the market closes. That would be absolutely awful. Okay, absolutely awful. Now, like Justin said, guys, we always go over the economic data first and on to me. I usually do ES, SPY, QQQ, and IWM. So I always like to start here first with the ES charts, the S&P 500 futures. What do we see here? We see how difficult was last week after CPI, right? CPI, okay, and then pretty much rangy, just straight rangy after, right? We couldn't get underneath 4,500. We couldn't get above 4,540. Everybody sees that, right? So that's tough trading conditions. What did we talk about last week? The market trends and the market consolidates. It trends, it consolidates, it trends, and it consolidates. That's all we were doing, right? The market trended, it consolidated, it trended down, it consolidated, it trended up, it consolidated, trended down. You guys see that. The market does that over and over and over and over. So now it's pretty easy to see here what? We're going to have a trend come after this consolidation. This is a week's almost worth of consolidation here, right? As long as we stay above 4,500, I believe it's just a rally-based rally, likely on par. Why? Because we see this big level here, 4,560 above. I think we can go to look to tap 4,600 there above are going to be big, big, big levels. So I don't even have to zoom in here, guys. It's literally going to be a break of this range. It's just which one comes first. Okay, that's really it. We get up here. Unless the shorts don't happen until a break of 4,500. The longs don't happen unless a break of 4,540. Okay. Above 4,540, 4,560, 6,500, 4,560, 4,600. Big levels above, right? And then above there, you're going to look at 52 weeks highs, 4,634. Okay. But this range, you play within the range until the range breaks. If you like to play the breaks, wait for it to break. It'll happen. Just stay patient. Wait for the breakout, small retest, and go. Wait for the breakdown, small retest, and go. Now, above, we already talked about levels above, 4,560, 4,600. Below 4,500, I think we drop all the way down to 2 weeks previous low where we broke out. Look for that 44.35 to get tested. We can see that was the break of structure that we had. So if we broke out of that downtrend, might as well go back down here and retest it. I'd be looking for longs there and at 4400. Okay, ES chart, very simple. We're going to break out of this range. It's either upside or downside. Okay, 4560, 4600 to the upside, underneath 4435, 4400 to the downside. Looking for bounces at both of those areas respectively. Onto the SPY chart, going to look very identical, except it looks way uglier. Why? Because we have, this was the mark from Friday. Just got to get that off there. I can't. Oh, right here, sorry. What do we see here on the SPY chart? We have 3 open, I call these bull gaps or whatever, huge gaps to the upside. And guys, just because the market leaves a gap doesn't mean it needs to fill it right away. Obviously, from this run from 408, all the way up here to 450, it's left 3 of them and does not want to close any of them. Right? Doesn't even want to close it. Like you can see here, didn't even close it on the day after it. You can see this gap up, didn't even get close. Gap up, didn't even get close. Right? So just gap ups and goes. So will these get filled? Probably, but that doesn't mean they need to get filled right away. So don't think you just want to short the market because there's gaps to fill to the downside. We trend, we consolidate, we trend, we consolidate, we trend, we consolidate. So look, you got to wait for 448 to break. 448 is going to be like the ES level Okay, zooming in here. It's going to be like the ES level at 4,500. 448 has to break. And you look at 4,600. I'm sorry, 4,600. Look at 446 for your bounce. Gap fill takes you all the way down to 441. This is like 443, 4435 on ES. I'm looking at longs on this gap fill down. Also, you can see the break of structure here was the break of the 438. So 441, 438, looking for bounces respectfully in there. You can watch this 444. If we do get this gap fill down to only fill it halfway, bulls stay super strong. Watch for the 444 bounce. So underneath 448 is 446, 444, 440. One upside break of 451.50 or 452 opens up 453, gap fill to 455, and then watch 52 weeks high from there. Pretty self-explanatory on SPY. We're gonna have to break out of this range. Okay, QQQ is flagging underneath 52-week highs. Now let's not forget that we did make highs in the pre-market during the week. We actually got above that 388, right? We went up 389.50, went up there and got it, right? But we're looking at the daily chart here. We can see we're doing the same thing. Trend, consolidate, trend, consolidate, trend, consolidate. So we either break below 383, 383.50 gives us the gap fill down to 380, 378.50. I look for bounces in both of those zones. Okay. Or we take the break of 52-week highs, 388. 388 takes us to 389.50, 392 from there. So does everybody see that? Very self-explanatory. We are going to break out of this range, right? Like we're either going to get through this or we are going to get through this, right? But for right now, we just play in the range until we break. And once we break, that's obviously a consolidation for the next leg up or a consolidation for the next leg down, pullback. Either one, just wait for the break. But guys, what's the most high probability trade here? Breakout, flag, or I'm sorry, trend, flag, trend, flag. Likely trend higher, right? We are definitely back in an uptrend. Okay. We don't just go from 345 or 342 to 380 because there was a couple buyers that stepped in. No, a lot of buyers stepped in here. Okay. Likely going to defend their levels. So as far as tomorrow is, or this week and moving forward, we're going to watch for this range to break. All right. 383, 389. To the upside. One of those has to break. Last but not least, guys, IWM. Show that's IWMN. That's not IWM. We could see here very nice break to the upside, back test, hold of that 176 level, and now holding above. So this is great to see. If we want to continue the rally on SPY and QQQ, I think you're going to need IWM. You're gonna need the Russell 2000 to join the party. As you can see, bouncing off of 160 lows all the way up to 182. That's a great start. Now seeing the pullback, right? So you see a trend, consolidate, right? This is just a extended flag and then up. Okay. Still have two gaps open here though, right? Still have two gaps open. So need to pay attention to both of these gaps here on the daily, but gonna be watching. I want 176 to hold starting tomorrow. 176 hold, these gaps are going to stay open. They're going to be baiting every single person to just want to get short. But as 176 holds, that's great. 182 opens up. I'm sorry, over 182 opens up 186 and then basically 192 from there. You guys can see a lot of upside here on IWM. It's almost been kind of lagging, if you will. SPY and QQQs absolutely went bonkers. I think IWM likely can go next, especially if there's a couple days where we get a rotation out of big tech, whatever, back into the Russell. I think that can move higher. So 176, I'll be watching 182. That's going to be the range you're going to want to watch up here. Underneath 176, watch 174 gap fill to 170. I'm looking for longs at 170. Absolutely looking for longs at 170 if we get up there. But if 176 holds, look to get long, strong up to 182 over 182. Like I said, 186, 192. From there, guys, that is all I got for you on my portion, guys. I will pass it over here to Justin for some individual names, and he will take us out. Justin, what's up, brother? Happy Sunday.
Hey, happy Sunday.
What do you got for us, dude?
You guys had a good weekend?
Absolutely.
Got a couple names this week, as always. AMD, especially with NVIDIA. We've got some levels coming up here. Looking like it's trying to break out to the upside. We are stuck in a pretty big range right here from about 115 to 122. It looks like we're really trying to break out here. We can look at the daily, look at the 4-hour, just kind of flagging out, right? We came back down, popped right back up, right into this range between about 119 and 122, flagging out up here. So if we do decide to stay strong and we break out, definitely looking for this week. I'm watching this 122 breakout into about 125. If we break out of this 122 area, nothing but room into 125. If we go and break out of 125, there's nothing but room. It's about 130 and ultimately 135. So definitely a lot of room up here on this massive bull flag, wedge down, whatever you want to call it. We are breaking out. If we do break out more to the upside, 122 though is what I'll be watching. 125, 130, and then ultimately 135 up into this area. Very, very simple levels here. Very, very clean levels that AMD is giving. So 122. Also watching for about 119, right? This 119.70 for a hold to enter higher. And then ultimately back down to 115.50 for this retest into demand to hold as well if we decide to double top and get weak. But again, guys, I think it's pretty clear as day. These levels 122, 125, 130. If the market does decide to get weak, semiconductors get weak as well, could look at taking some rejects at these levels. But if we're going to decide to break out here, right, we can't really break down. We tried a couple times, right? We came to 122, try to come down, but 1, 2, 3, and then we came down about not even halfway for a fourth time. So I mean, this thing does not want to go down. So if we do decide to break out, 122, guys, all eyes on 122, 125, 130 this week on AMD. Apple, leader of the market, right? If you're playing SPY, you're playing QQQ, and you're not watching Apple, you're doing it wrong. You need to be watching the top holdings of Apple or top holdings of Apple. You need to be watching top holdings of SPY and QQQ whenever you're trading those, right? You're not just trading SPY and QQQ blindly. That'd be stupid, right? Go Google, go do some homework if you haven't already. Look up the top 10 holdings of SPY and QQQ. And then please be watching those while you're trading SPY and QQQ this week. But on Apple, I'm watching this 191, big level, right? We're right back to about this 190, 191 level, right up here, right? And into the week, right into this nice little range. I do believe if we break over this 190 right here, 190, right? We have a pretty big level here, 191, nothing but room into about 195, and then into the most recent highs into 198, 200. So again, if we break and hold this 191, I am willing to go long, especially if the market is strong into about, we got to go down to the 4 hour, into about this 190, no, 193 area right here. And then in 196 area right here into the most recent highs into about 198.50 and then 200. If we do decide to continue weak, I mean, we are pretty overextended here and we get into these highs, just like Microsoft, probably going to start taking a weekly couple weeks out short if we get into this 198, 200 area into these most recent highs, but it is poised to break out, go retest the all-time highs there on Apple. Next on the list is going to be PLTR. Looking for a break and hold of 21. Let me get to the daily here. Break and hold of 21 here. We have extreme strength. Breaking hold of 121 or reject into this double top here. But 121 or just 21 break and hold, looking for rumors about 123, 24. And then we have nothing but rumors about this 27. 30 area into the very top here. We're watching 21 here for a break and hold reject back down to the downside with the strength coming into this week. Netflix, guys, Netflix. We can see here we have a big imbalance. Let me take off the data here so we could see this nice little gap, right? So we filled the gap. 470 is that gap fill here. We're almost there. So all eyes on 470 this week, guys. All eyes on 470. If we can break and hold this 470, we have nothing but room into about 480. Let me go ahead and put the data extended hours back on. So as we can see, 470 here. I mean, we could see that nice support turn resistance. 470 breaks and holds. We can go see about 477 and then up into these highs, 480, 482. So we do have strength here on Netflix, 470, all eyes on there. But again, guys, we're getting pretty overextended. I mean, these runs are insanely ridiculous, right? But it is the market, right? We're going to play whatever happens in these markets. I mean, we had a similar run here back in May, where we ran from what, 315 all the way up into that high about 500. So, I mean, we've already had a run, right? These runs can happen. We can easily see a similar run here into highs, if not break into even higher highs over that 500 mark. But 470, 470, 470. Watch it. Big level here on Netflix for this week. If we do decide to get weak and we do sell off and have a nasty pullback, we'll be watching a back test into this nice demand here around 454 into 450 for that back test into there. Let me go to the daily here. We could see again right into this back test of this nice demand if we do decide to get weak coming in to next week. We'll be watching this 460 area. Pretty simple, guys. Oops, that is not the one I wanted. 460. Right, we could see here. Pretty easy level here. Breaking hold 460 back into that 454, 450 area. We'll be watching that. Or we come back to bounce, right? 460, and then we head higher, right? Levels, levels, levels. Very, very simple, guys. You should be getting used to charting really fast and easy, just like this. Mara, last but not least, we have Mara on deck. Bitcoin is running, as we know, 38,000 is getting some resistance. But if we break out here on this nice little bull run on Bitcoin, I mean, Mara is setting up for a nice explosion to the upside. Watching this 1050 area, 1050, we could see some, right? Keep rejecting this 1050. So if we break and hold 1050, I think nothing but room into about 11. If we break and hold over this 11 area, nothing but room into about 1250, 13, right? Nothing about room into 1250, 13, but 1050 is my big watch this week for Mara. If we finally break and hold that, I think we see a pretty explosive move into about 11, over 11 into that 1250, 13 area. And that is all I got. Let's have a good week this week. Practice good risk management, risk light. As we know, it's building trade after trade. It's not get rich quick. Take trading serious and you'll see serious results.
That's I think that's the best way we go out, brother. Well said, guys. Short week this week. Do not forget FOMC minutes, third Tuesday. NVIDIA Tuesday. Short week this week. Other than that,